So, this is what AI considers a profitable house. So today we are gonna go see if AI lied to us about a rental property. So if you haven't seen my last video, go check it out because I asked ChatGPT to find me a rental property and we're gonna go see it today, see if it's any good, see if it's something we should actually invest in. So I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Do you think that this property is actually gonna be any good? Now the numbers look decent, at least on the surface. The area and location is pretty solid. It's actually an area where Amazon is starting to put a warehouse and a facility. Money is being pumped into the area. So I'm actually curious to see if ChatGPT knows what it's talking about. So with that being said, let's hop into the truck and let's go see if AI actually knows what it's talking about. So my biggest concern with asking ChatGPT and AI is this a good rental property is it doesn't know the condition of the house. Sure, it can potentially analyze pictures that are found on Zillow or whatever, but is it going to really know that there's 50, 60, $70,000 worth of equity? Is it going to know that the area is a good rental market? It has so much information. AI has all access to the internet, to everything. So it technically, I guess in theory, could pull all the information and know everything about the property and if it's actually good. But I'm curious to see, I've seen some of the pictures. It looks outdated. It looks for sure like it needs to be renovated, but I don't know if I can fully trust AI to actually, I use ChatGPT for a lot of stuff. I use it for, just creating emails or good templates or whatever, which is great. But this is, money we're talking about. This is potentially spending, 20% down on a down payment or potentially $100,000 on renovations. Like this is not a cheap thing to just put in the hands of AI. So I'm kind of skeptical, but put it down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think that we're gonna run into like a iRobot situation where AI just kind of takes over stuff and we gotta shut it down? Or do you think AI is actually helpful? So if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know that when I pull up to a house, one of the first things that I'm just immediately looking at is I'm looking at like the roof. I'm looking at if there's any like large trees. I'm just immediately trying to assess the overall condition of, the neighborhood, just everything at a quick glance, because there's a lot you can tell within the first, 30 to 60 seconds of pulling up to a house. Even pulling in through the subdivision, you'll know immediately, is this a subdivision that people are taking care of their homes? Where if you renovate this house, is it gonna be, over improving for the area? Because you don't want to have the only nice house in the entire neighborhood. You just be, overkill, shooting yourself in the foot, and you would basically be spending money on absolutely nothing. So that's the first thing when you pull up to a house, looking at the roof. Is there any large trees? Just kind of how does the foundation look, concrete, just the simple quick things to let you know, as well as the subdivision. Is this something I even want to take the next 30, 40 minutes to really look at this house and see, is it worth my time? So one thing that I realized that I probably should have went more into detail in the last video was the actual numbers of this house. So they're asking, I believe, 230 for it. It's been on the market for forever. I think like 200 days or something like that, that's a long time, especially when you're talking about a house that's in a pretty solid location. The location we're going to is an area in my city where people actually really love it. It's kind of an older part of Baton Rouge, but people love it. It's one of those areas where no matter what happens, people are going to want to live there. It's just a lot of sentimental value. It's where a lot of people grew up. So they're going to, people out here, I've noticed, they love to stay where they were born. Like wherever they were born at, that's kind of where they want to live. They like it. It's a kind of a hometown feel, which I personally like. So that's the asking price, 230. The ARV on this property, I need to look further into it, but I think AI said like 350, which I don't know. But if it's mainly a cosmetic, work where it's just paint, some floors, the layout's already good, there's nothing like super major we got to do to it, then yeah, I could see 350 and then only like, 50 grand worth of work. We're in it for 280. Maybe it'll work. We really need to see what could it rent for, because I don't like to sell my properties. I like to hold my properties, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe AI lied to us. We'll find out. So we are pulling into the subdivision, and this looks like a normal, typical subdivision in my area. So let's look around. All right, so we just pulled up to the house, and first immediate reactions is it's definitely an older part of the neighborhood, definitely an older part of town. I don't see too many people have done a ton of renovations in the area. I see a few, but it's kind of a mixture where people have just kind of let their homes go. Some people are kind of taking care of it, but you never know. You could always find a diamond in the rough. You never want to discount it. I have different tiers. So tier one is like the best location possible for renters. Tier two is going to be decent. Tier three is going to be kind of on the edge where if there's profit, you probably just want to sell it. Tier four and five, you just want to stay away from. Tier five is like the absolute worst neighborhood, never will give you any return. So I would say for me, this is kind of like a tier three. It's fringing on the edge of tier two. So let's go inside and let's go check it out. See, is there money to be had? All right, let's go check this house out. So this is what AI considers a profitable house. Well, actually, it's not that bad. Let's look around here. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So right when you first walk in from the carport, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's for sure outdated, but the biggest thing that I look for immediately is actually what I smell. And I don't smell anything negative. I mean, it's old, but old is not the same as a bad investment. It's actually got a good layout. It's got a decent sized kitchen. I mean, you can tell it's outdated, but so like initial reaction is okay. We could work with this. Like cabinets are actually nice, original cabinets, probably real wood. So you don't want to throw these away. A little side tip, guys. If you got good solid wood cabinets and they're not moldy, not nasty like these are, I mean, these look phenomenal. Don't ever throw these away. Please try to repurpose this. This will save you thousands of dollars. I mean, the microwave and oven don't look too bad either. So let's walk around and see. I mean, it's got good storage. You can see older homes. They used to do a lot of this like wood paneling. I mean, this ain't bad. This brick is, kind of interesting in the house, but older homes used to do that. Dining room. You could tell. Oh no, this is a closet. No, this is a dining room. What is this? World. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. So guys, I mean my mind just kind of starts to go all over the place when I see a house like this because there's so much work that needs to be done, but there's so much potential in a house like this. You could tell a house like this is old school. I mean, you don't see stuff like this anymore where it used to be like a hidden sink. I mean, let's check out these bedrooms and bathrooms. A nice entryway. This house is actually not older carpet. This house was never updated. For sure, never updated. This is like old 1990s, 1980s type style. It's not that terrible though. Man, yes. Oh yeah, for sure hasn't been updated since like the 90s. Well, maybe the 2000s because those lights don't look too bad. Man, the bones on this house, this is all a cosmetic. This is all cosmetic. Like these doors, never get rid of those doors, guys. Never. That is beautiful. So it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, tons of closet space. I mean, man, old school. Oh, this is ugly. Oh, it's beautifully ugly. I hope this never comes back. I don't know if it's doing it justice, but it's like blue. I hope, guys, please let this never come back. And I call these coffin showers because, I mean, there's like no space. There's like no space. Oh, the toilet even matches. Look at this. A blue toilet. That's crazy. Okay, so my initial thoughts of walking through the house. It's got what we call good bones, right? Good bones in a house is so important. I don't smell or see any mold. It just smells like it's just an older house, which nothing wrong with that. The area and location, like I said, if you were to pick this house up and put it in another location, this is a 350, $400,000 house all day long. At 230, I wouldn't even question it. I would be buying it. But the location is what concerns me the most. So we're gonna have to run some numbers on this house. So I think at most, this house will probably go for 350. At the most, like top notch, and we might be pushing it at 350. Just looking around, it's probably a 2,000-ish square foot house. I have to confirm those numbers, but initial thoughts, I don't know if there's enough money in this house. Okay, so I just looked at the listing, 2,400 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. I would almost say we could turn it into a 4 bedroom because it's got this room kind of off to the side where you can turn it into a fourth bedroom, knock out some walls. But only problem, like I said, with a house like this in this kind of a location is no one else around it is really taking care of their houses enough to generate that value. Now, if I can get this house at a cheaper price, if I can get this house closer to 200,000, then maybe we'll have a deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back home. I'm going to run the numbers, look at the comps. I'm going to see what I can rent it for. It's going to easily need, but just cosmetic, it's going to easily need about $80,000 worth of renovation. It's all cosmetic, but it's a bigger house and there are some walls that we're going to have to take down to just kind of make it feel more open. But I think there's a potential here. AI might have steered us in the right direction. So with that being said, let's hop back in the truck. Let's head to the house. Let's run some numbers and see, did we actually find something with AI? So I'll see you at the house. All right, you guys. So I made it back to the computer. I'm going to sit down, run through these numbers. I'm going to see, is this deal that AI found, is it any good? Like I said, my biggest concerns is the rent, the area that it is. I don't know if it'll really go for 350. So let's run these numbers and I'll catch up with you guys once I do. All right, you guys. So I just finished doing all the numbers. First thing I did is I wanted to run comps to see what the actual ARV of this property would be. And let me tell you, I was spot on. AI said it could go for about 350,000. And I was like, I just don't know because the area just isn't there yet. And of course, when I ran my numbers, the ARV is going to be right around 300,000. So when I do my math, I need, if we're going to do a fix and hold like this, I gotta have 25% equity. Otherwise, it's something that I would sell. And I'm not really looking to sell right now unless the property just has a ton of equity, or unless the property is just not something that you should keep as a rental and it does have a ton of equity, which those kind of houses I don't come across very often. So with this house being 300,000, it needs a good 80 to 85,000 in repairs. The only reason why is because it's 2,400 square feet. It's a big house. So flooring, paint, baseboards, and there are some walls that we would need. There's like one big wall in the middle that you saw that we would need to open up just to kind of make that kitchen and living room space feel, a little bit more open, a little bit more free. People like that. So with that being said, if you do the numbers, how a lender is going to look at it, they're going to say, okay, your after repair value, take $300,000. And I'm using calculator. So you take $300,000 and immediately, if that's your after repair value, immediately you have to subtract 25%, which leaves you with 225,000. From there, that is your total budget of purchasing and rehabbing unless you want to come to the table with money. If you don't want to come to the table with any money, that is the formula that a lender is going to do. They're going to say, look, we'll lend to you to be able to purchase and rehab at 100% if you can meet that criteria. Of course, you have to have some experience. So of course, if you don't have any experience, they will charge you a little extra in interest and fees like that, but it's still possible. So immediately 225, that's what I have to work with. It needs 85,000 in repairs. So if you subtract 85,000 from that, you're left with 140,000 to purchase. They're asking 230 for this house. So already off the bat, if it were for 350 ARV, maybe. But right off the bat, with it only being worth like 100, I don't know if you can see that, but only
140,000 is what I would pay for it, there's no way I would even make an offer on this because it would be an insulting offer to come and say, hey, sure, I can, close in the next week, but you're gonna have to take a $90,000 hit. I mean, that is a lot to ask of any seller. Sure, if it sits on the market long enough, someone will take it. But I can guarantee you that is exactly why it's been on the market for what is it, 200? Actually, I could pull it up right now. Where is it? Okay, yeah, I just found it. It got listed December 13th. That is almost 7 months to the day, which I don't know how many days it is, but that is a long time to be on the market for a house. And I know why now it's sitting for so long. They're asking way too much. If they were to bring this price down to 200, maybe someone would take some bites and put a little bit of their own cash in because the return would be so great. But there's no way that a normal investor is going to want this. This is going to be something that someone's going to have to come in, buy as their primary residence, and they're going to have to put their own money to fix it up. And at that point, yeah, sure, you can make that work all day long if you like the area, you like the house, it's got good bones. But for an investor, this is something you want to stick away from. So in the end, my question of did AI steer us wrong? Did AI find us a good, profitable house? Honestly, no. But here's my takeaway. While yes, this house wasn't necessarily a good one that would work, AI found this potential deal in like 5 seconds almost. I mean, it was probably more like 30 seconds, but AI found this deal very, very fast. Now, imagine if it were to find 20, 30 deals in a few minutes of your time and you're able to just quickly run numbers and you don't have to go searching through MLS, through Zillow, through Redfin, all of that, which could easily take you hours. I know sometimes I spend hours looking through foreclosure lists just trying to find a simple rental. So, did AI find us a good property here? No, but can it? I absolutely believe it can. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'd like to see what would you guys do? Would you guys trust AI for any of this stuff?